beautiful family, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bohemina and I'm here with
Danny Reacts.
And we are super excited to be checking out a debate video by Candace Owens titled Candace Owens Destroys Male Feminist. Yes, we are very excited that you guys are really loving the debate videos and you keep recommending other videos for us to check out together. So guys, if you're ready, then let's see this video together.
My question is just, I looked at some data while you were speaking about the gender pay gap in the UK and the US. So apparently it's 17% in the UK and 19% in the US.
No, it's not.
And it's WEF data, so I
Yeah.
just looked at
It
that right now.
doesn't
So
exist.
maybe
The gender
World
pay gap.
Economic from in 2015,
Right.
in
So,
percentage.
happy to talk about this at length.
Yeah, this is
so
like,
my question is basically, what do you think are the causes of this?
It
yeah.
doesn't exist.
Well,
Do
no,
you-
there is a cause for it. I'll tell you what it is.
And do you think there should be public measures to tackle it? And yeah, the causes and the public
Fair
reaction.
question.
So
I
what
get
is-
it. I get it all the time because obviously I'm like the anti-feminist. So people are always like, "How can you deny the gender, the wage gap?" Okay. So when I went to university, all of the girls that I was friends with were majoring in fashion and textiles and merchandising, and they all went off to intern at Vogue. And pick out Prada bags that maybe Kate Moss would wear on the cover of something. The average pay for that, if you want to be in fashion when you get out of school, is $20,000. Men were majoring in business and engineering and things that when you get out of school, you get paid more. If our interests, if we're going to go in and we're not going to be taking serious majors, and we're shocked when we find out the world doesn't need more people to pick out Prada bags for Kate Moss's shoot. I mean, that's not a gender wage gap. That's an interest gap, right? And that's what's happening. Also, women, we have different interests. Women aspire to get married, they aspire to have children. They leave the workforce earlier. Every single one of my girlfriends, what I'm saying is that a person that is a brain surgeon should not get paid the same amount as a person that wants to pick out Prada bags for the rest of her life. I mean, this is what's going on in America. When you look at the wage gap, they're not telling you what the jobs actually are and what women are going into in terms of their majors in university. When you're taking feminist dance class 101, you're not going to make six figures when you go out of university. That's just the truth. And women, if there was a real feminist movement, would talk about that, would say, hey, if you want to make as much as men, maybe we should be majoring in engineering and things like that. But we don't because we have different interests, which is fine. But you then can't complain and think that we should now have a society that forces, what are we going to do? Are we going to have like a government that says now we have to pay women that want to go into fashion six figures to make them feel good and like they're doing things that are productive in society? Like that's not a practical solution. If we want to get serious, if women want to make more than men, they do. It's actually been proven statistically in America that when they go into the same majors and take on the same jobs, women get paid more than men in those particular fields.
So for Google, for example, I'm going to comment on this in a variety of different ways. Google, for example, did a pay equity audit 2 weeks ago.
That was last week.
And Google said we must go after gender-based wage discrimination. Turns out that men were being significantly underpaid at Google, so they dished out $9 million in bonuses to men at Google because women are being overpaid. A couple things. First of all, if you just lazily, as some of the studies that you referenced, not you're being lazy, but the studies are lazy, extrapolate all the women and all the men at a certain age and don't take into account how long they've been in a job, what they studied, their experience prior, the gender wage gap in the States does exist. But if you take in women that study the same stuff as men and are in the workforce at the same time as men, they actually earn 106 cents of the dollar more, meaning 6 cents more than a man does in the States. Candace made a brilliant point. In the States, if you look at the 5 majors that are the highest performing majors, the 5 majors that are 5 lowest performing majors. So roughly the 5 highest performing majors in the United States of America: petroleum engineering, business, finance, things of that nature. They're 80 to 90% more or less dominated by men. There's only one major that are dominated by women, a single out of the 5. If you look at the 5 worst performing, pre-K education, things of that nature, elementary school education, almost 80 to 90% dominated by women because they naturally will make different choices because they're biologically
We're
set
just
up
biologically different. Our interests are different.
Really quick, women are also.
Can I just go back to that? Because I find it's a very interesting point you're making, the interest and the biologically
Yeah, it's backed
making.
up by a
and
Cambridge
and
study.
can
That was
you
actually
just elaborate on this? Because I would tend to disagree about the biologically part of the.
There's a
For
Cambridge
instance,
study
woman.
that
You say
states that.
woman. You say the gender gap doesn't exist, and that woman would be more inclined to do a fashion degree
Well, no,
rather than a business degree. And
women and men are different. Yes.
I'm going to say something that you probably hate, an expression you hate, but social construct.
Well,
No, it's
we
not.
have evidence to this, though. Look at the Scandinavian countries. They tried to get rid of this. They actually allowed teenagers to choose which do you want to get into STEM fields or not? And the data actually showed that women naturally wanted to go towards, when they tried to make the society totally equitable and they tried to get rid of these gender roles, women still, because of the biological predisposition towards nurturing, women...
We naturally want to nurture.
They go to nursing.
There are definitely studies against that nurturing part. Women are not more inclined to be nurturing.
Absolutely.
110% we are. 110. I mean,
Sweden is the example of it. You're just wrong.
It's just true. It's just true.
But based on what? What studies? Is it true based on what?
There was a study done by Cambridge scientists that demonstrated that men naturally revert to environments that require more structure, such as politics and the professions that you mentioned.
Business.
And women naturally revert to professions such as teaching, which require more empathy and emotion. This is just a natural thing. It's important not to. It's important not to say that women should be forced into those roles, but you do have to accept
that we naturally
that
do.
we naturally revert to them.
It's just true. I'm just telling you, like, even if you said, I'm telling you, every single woman that I went to university with versus every single man, there's just a difference in terms of the majors that we're picking, and we're not forced to pick certain majors. We just aren't forced to. So what you're seeing is the result of people picking their different interests, right? And unfortunately, the other part of your question was, should we do something in society to even it out? We don't have to do anything in society to even it out.
We just have to allow people to...
Yes, of course.
Do you think there's a biological difference between a man and a woman?
I do believe indeed there's a biological difference between man and woman, but when it comes to interest, I do more believe that...
So let me ask you a follow-up. Don't mean to interrupt rudely, but if we have biological differences, do I have more testosterone than she does?
Yeah.
I think, yes, indeed.
Do you think that testosterone could drive you to do different interests and things?
Well, I could indeed do believe that. The thing is...
So maybe a man might be more likely to be a weightlifter, serve in the army, be a police officer, a firefighter, and a woman who has more estrogen might want to be a nurturer, a preschool teacher. Do you see how biology...
I have another question. Do you think it's desirable for the society, this kind of...
Of course.
I love it, yeah.
Absolutely.
I love the yin and the yang. I think men and women are symbiotic. It's beautiful. It's biblical, and it's something that we should stop trying to actively work to force and destroy at a certain point. I love it. And I did a podcast. I was interviewing John Voight, who you guys might know. He's Angelina Jolie's father, and he was talking about this like biblical, beautiful thing that our society is currently trying to destroy. And he said, the thing that I see over and over again in my life, and it's nice because he's 80 years old now, so they have that wisdom when they get old. And he said, women just know what to do when they have children. He's like, they just know. It's so innate. When you see a woman with a child, it's just the most beautiful thing. He goes, you get men around there, they don't know what they're doing. And every single one of my girlfriends that now has children says the same thing. That it's easier when the man just leaves the house because it's like they have another child, right? and that's beautiful, right? And feminists make you think that there's something wrong with that. Like make him do this and do that, and it's like, yes, there are certain things that we innately know how to do. And when I see a child, I instantly know how to take care of them. That's just something that's innate and it's biological. And maybe I don't have the data and the facts to describe to you that I can prove that this is a thing. But it is. It just is a thing. And I don't know why society wants to destroy that or force it in a different way and make men the people that are innate and know what to do when they see children. There's something really beautiful and spiritual about that should never be disrupted.
Thank you.
Candace. Super
interesting.
Wow. This is a very, very interesting and then at the same time emotional discussion, Yes, because when it comes to the issues of male and female, we all know what's happening across the world, and it's getting very, very intense and very, very interesting. Women naturally, as Candace was pointing out, they love to nurture, they love to take care of things, emotionally attracted to certain things, just as guys also want to explore, they want to go the extra mile, they want to show
they want to show strength.
Guys will be fighting in the engineering sectors, yes, and all those things. Yes. And that is how biologically or biblically it is. But now what we are trying to experience is, as she said, there was a study to check out ladies in a ladies class or a ladies group to check which of them would like to venture into STEM, and it was less. Very few of them want to venture into STEM. It's not that they are not so interested in it, but biologically, that is how they are created. It's just a few of them that really have the passion to go into the STEM field, and there's nothing wrong with it. It is what makes society beautiful. Yeah, I agree to what Candace was saying.
I understand the gentleman in a way that the narrative has always been that men engineering, women do this. So possibly he's just trying to say that we should encourage women the more to venture into some of these fields, so that, like, not to compete with the men, but I mean, if we're talking about equal opportunity, if we say that a woman can serve in the military, a man should be able to serve in the military, and they should have like equal wages, and not thinking that because the man is a man, so we have to pay him more than the woman, and not because the woman is also a woman, so she should be paid more than a woman. But I also understand Charlie Kirk's point. I mean, if a man's level of strength is more than that of a woman's level of strength, like biologically, naturally, then it means that what it would take a man to do in a day, possibly it takes a woman like 2 days. Possibly there are some other factors that will influence her not being able to accomplish that on the same time like the man.
But as Kirk corrected, especially in the US, the women actually in such fields tend to get higher paid than even the male. And there's nothing wrong with it. We are not even competing with them. That's how it is. So it's a thing of biological preferences or interest. You don't want to force women to go into fields. Women, if you go to the health sector, for instance, we have more women there as nurses, and it's so beautiful. It is natural. Even the males feel much comfortable having a female nurse treat them than a male nurse. Midwifery and all those fields. There are fields that are specifically, or that women are much more interested in. That's the nurturing kind of field, and that is what makes society and life beautiful. We shouldn't force women to be what they may not so much interest in. And trust me, the ladies who are maybe into engineering, they are doing superb. It's because that is their interest, and so they put in a lot of work, and they are actually getting value for money, or they are actually getting the same wage as a man. But if the person is not so much interested into it, you don't have to push the person further, as the male feminist is trying to suggest. No, it's not it at all.
I think with what the gentleman was saying, he's just trying to say that because the narrative has always been that women dominate like the health sector, women are interested in doing like fashion jobs and all that.
Education and all that stuff.
We tend to want to allow the girl child to venture into those fields, not really creating that kind of opportunity for the girl child to venture into STEM jobs and all that. But the thing is also that, just like Candace corrected, it's not as if they've not been given the opportunity, because I mean the world has really advanced, and then we have seen that a lot of other women are also in the STEM fields, and then they are doing amazingly well. These are people that have actually been given equal opportunities like the men to be able to also venture into such fields. And then it turns out that the women are naturally attracted to those kind of fields, whilst the men are naturally attracted to the other side, which is the engineering and all that. So it's kind of very unique. I think we have quite a number of men that are into the fashion business, and then if you should check the number of women that are in the fashion business to that of men, you can see that is actually lesser compared to STEM, where the men are actually more than the women. And then wherever field that each individual finds themselves, they do amazingly great. That's what we should actually appreciate in society, and not just because we feel like women naturally mothers, they naturally have compassion and all that. They should always belong to those kind of fields. So I understand what the gentleman asked perfectly.
All right. So the wages, as Kirk corrected, is there's nothing like that. Women are not underpaid when it comes to the field that they are all supposed to be in. If it is engineering, women are paid equal or even higher. So that this debate is no debate at all. So if it's about wages, no. It is the same, or it is even more on the women's side than on the guy's side. So guys,
and the opportunities, I think now the opportunities have become more open for the women as well, to actually venture into STEM, engineering and all that, unlike before that people would actually force their children to, because you're a man, you have to enter the banking sector, because you're a woman, you have to venture into nursing. I think now the opportunities are getting very equal,
Yes,
and then
yes. It's getting better and
yes,
it's getting beautiful.
better and it's
Yeah.
getting very beautiful also. Wow, so guys, we really enjoyed watching Candace Owens destroy male feminists, and we are very sure you enjoyed watching this video yourself, so don't forget to give us a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, subscribe to our channel to join our amazing family, and please leave your recommendations of other debatable videos that you'd want us to check out on this channel, and we'll gladly do you the honor. Leave your opinions of what you think about the video. We know that you have different perception about the whole thing, different perspective. Whatever you want to say, just leave it in the comment section for us, and we'll get interactive from there. And please take note that this video is not to discredit anybody or to make somebody look bad. It's just a video to share our opinions and then allow you to also share your opinions as well. So until next time, I am Wil Sway.
I'm Danny Reacts.
Your number one music freak. See you. Bye.